Choose life. Choose Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and hope that someone, somewhere cares. Choose looking up old flames, wishing you'd done it all differently.
Hello folks, welcome to Edinburgh. Now I wanted to make today's vlog all about TO Trainspotting, the new movie Trainspotting the Second, which is out now in cinemas. The cool thing about the new Trainspotting, it's set right here in Edinburgh and it features lots of amazing locations right here in the city. I thought I'd make today's vlog to do a bit of a tour to show you exactly where it was filmed and all the different locations. I have got the Adidas retro gear, just like Mark Renton when he climbed up the hill. The only difference is he had a white and orange one. I couldn't find a white and orange one, so I had to settle with green and yellow. And that's why a lot of people from here in Scotland have fallen in love with TO Trainspotting, because it shows off Edinburgh in such a lot of different ways. Now one of the main scenes was actually shot at the top of Arthur's Seat, but leading up to that they did a running shot of Mark Renton and Spud running up the top of the crags. So I'm going to actually attempt to recreate that scene.
From the convoy, playing with the old toys, instant tomorrows, handcrafted sorrows, all-star bravery, imaginary jargon, encrypted by business. Thanks, bro. Quick fix, elasticated them with sucking on the thumb, marching to an old hit, tiger in an envelope, paperboy, bumper rope, scratches on the blank tape, stealth like you told.
We are here on Clerk Street, which is one of Edinburgh's busiest streets. There's a scene in the movie where Spud is involved in renovating the pub and sauna. He is responsible for buying all the supplies, and he buys some supplies for building from one particular store, and you can see it very clearly in the shot. It's Edinburgh Bargain Store, which is just on the other side of the road there. I'm not sure if there's anything I need right now from the Edinburgh Bargain Store, but that is one location right here in Clerk Street. I'm here at another location for TO Trainspotting. It is dark now, it's night time, but I thought I would add some nice atmosphere. Right now I'm in Salamander Street, which is a famous street here in Leith in Edinburgh. Leith is important. Leith is a context because the Trainspotting books were actually based on Leith, this neighbourhood in Edinburgh, and it features a lot in TO Trainspotting. And right behind me here you'll see a scrapyard. This block of flats here is Sick Boy's house in the movie. And it's quite clearly the top floor right there where my finger is. And throughout the movie, Sick Boy goes in and out of his house there obviously, and Mark Renton lives there for some time as well throughout the movie. An important part of the film's location, Salamander Street here in Leith, that is the Dalton scrapyard right there behind me. I'm going to zoom in so you can see it clearly. That top floor of flats, that's where he lived. Right. We're in the car here. I'm going to drive off through Leith to a couple more locations that we can see from the car, because there's quite a lot of little places on the way that was featured in the film. Then I'm going to head to some really iconic places that were in TO Trainspotting. Right folks, I've actually decided I'm going to get out the car here in Commercial Street. There's a scene in the movie where Sick Boy is absolutely furious. I'm not sure if it's with Mark or with someone else, but anyway, there is the cafe right there behind me, the glass windows, and he walks past here. There's a lot of people sitting eating their lunch looking at him as he shouts, and he basically tells them all to mind their own effing business. But yeah, that's right here in Commercial Street. Right here. I think Sick Boy was standing about right here where I am right now. Tells all the people in the restaurant to basically mind their own business. I think I'm going to need to watch TO Trainspotting for a second time, because I can't remember the lines. But anyway, he was standing right here on this spot. Do you recognise this, guys? If you have seen TO Trainspotting, or if you've seen even the trailer, you will recognise this building. This building right here is Spud's house. It plays a very important part in the movie, and a lot actually happens there. These flats here are actually in a place called Craigmillar here in Edinburgh. There is a classical moment in the film where Spud is on the roof and he leans back and falls off, but actually he is on a drugs hit and Mark Renton saves him. There's also a couple of scenes towards the end where these flats feature heavily. Interesting story for you guys. Me and Tekka were actually passing the neighbourhood here once, and we saw a lot of big spotlights pointing towards these flats. We didn't know what was going on. We actually took the car in here to see what exactly was going on, and we saw the whole film crew here. Big part in the movie, Craigmillar flats. We have stopped at probably one of the most famous train spotting locations there is. I'm here at Regent Bridge, which is right in front of me. Now, Regent Bridge is one of the few locations that featured prominently in both the first Trainspotting, the original Trainspotting, and T2 Trainspotting. There's a set of steps up there, obviously, which are famous when Mark Renton was running away from the police in the first Trainspotting.
Choose life, choose a job, choose a career, choose a family, choose a fucking big television, choose washing machines, cars.
Not sure how that reenactment of me running down the steps was, but first Trainspotting, this obviously featured in the movie. T2 Trainspotting, there's a very, very important emotional scene, and what happens is basically he remembers what happened in the early Trainspotting. He comes out of a boxing gym, which is one of the doors along here somewhere, and I'm going to say this scene here with the bridge behind me, all up here, and the steps up there where the guys run down, is probably the most iconic location of Trainspotting. Right, I'm going to take you on to another location not far from here in the city centre of Edinburgh, to the scene where the most pivotal moment of T2 Trainspotting takes place. One of the pivotal moments of T2 Trainspotting starts right here behind me at Cav nightclub, which is right there. I'm going to focus on it. Mark Renton and Sick Boy decide to go out for a night of clubbing. Little did they know that Begbie was also having his own celebrations there in the Cav that evening, and they run into each other, and of course Begbie wants to kill Mark Renton. So a chase ensues on the very quiet streets, unusually quiet streets, which makes me think it's probably like something like 4 in the morning. But let me just take you through a few of the exact locations where this chase kicks off. Mark Renton flies up this road here, past the monument, up West Bow. There's so many iconic locations in the T2 Trainspotting film. Like, that is why a lot of us love it, because it does show off Edinburgh quite a lot. You know, there's not many films that actually show the city off that much, especially ones that kind of get international fame. So hopefully this vlog give you a good flavour of the different locations shot in the film. And if any of you guys are in Edinburgh, you'll see exactly where a lot of the locations are through this vlog, and you'll hopefully be able to go yourself. Edinburgh's Old Town is obviously full of these little closes, these alleyways. Actually, Flesh Market Close right here is probably not the most scenic of the closes. They're probably nicer looking ones than this, but it features in the movie, so. The cool thing about doing this vlog series right here in Edinburgh about T2 Trainspotting, it's about getting out and discovering the city. Trainspotting spotting. I think that should become a thing. Someone make that tour and make loads of money, and if you don't do it, maybe I'll do it. Trainspotting spotting with Shaun, how about that? Telephone boxes right here behind me are also featured as well as they come flying down the hill. The Royal Mile, this is like iconic of Edinburgh. I'm here in Coburn Street in the chase scene when Begbie is after Mark Renton. They come from the Royal Mile down to Coburn Street out of one of the alleyways, and they pause in the middle of the road for 1 sharp second, and the camera focuses on Mark Renton as they stop in the middle of the road. I wonder if I can recreate that scene. Castle Terrace car park. Begbie finally catches up with Mark Renton right here in the car park. Luckily, someone comes past in their car and Mark jumps on the roof and tells the guy to drive. Begbie manages to get a knife into him, but he keeps going. He's holding onto the roof of the car, and he comes out to here onto the street. And that is the end of this T2 Trainspotting Tour of Edinburgh. Hopefully that is a good overview. I've shown you about 7 or 8 of the main kind of locations that were in the T2 Trainspotting film. These are all the places that you can get to easy enough, and all worth checking out if you're a Trainspotting fan. The movie has received really good reviews all around the world, and you can check out my review on my channel. I'll put the link to that somewhere. Go and check it out if you haven't already. Hope you enjoyed this vlog. I hope you found it useful. If you're coming to Edinburgh and you want to check out some of the locations in the film, I would absolutely love to know what you think about this vlog, so please leave your comments down below. Leave a thumbs up. Hit subscribe if you haven't already, share the video with your friends and family, and come and check me out on Instagram, Facebook, all the rest of it. Watch T2 Trainspotting if you haven't already. Have a good night. I'll catch you again really soon.